What's up, you guys? Today we're taking a look at the Robot Damashii Gouf Custom. Oh wait, this is the old version. We're taking a look at the newer version. This is Robot Damashii or Robot Spirit 297 MS-07B-3 Gouf Custom version anime. This is the Gouf we've all been waiting for. The Gouf that doesn't have a hard point system. The Gouf that doesn't have parts that just fall off at, the drop of a dime. Just a better version. We finally have it here. Taking a look at the front of the box, we can see that, we're just not getting that big open window anymore, but I don't mind. I kind of like this little nice, beautiful picture of the action figure, but we do have a smaller window, so we do get to see the figure. Taking a look at the side of the box, with a nice profile of the Damashii, and then taking a look at the back, well, we see some more posing, some features, and then on the opposite side, boom, all the features, all the accessories, and a little bit more advertisement of what you can do with the figure. Oh, I'm very happy. Alright, let's go ahead and open it up. Looking so nice, I just had to put them on the display base from the get-go. I'm going to let you guys know that it's very important to just go ahead and take a look at your direction sheet. It's something that I always skip and never touch upon. Look at your direction sheet. Always a good thing. Anyways, here it is, the Damashii we've all been waiting for, Gouf Custom. It looks absolutely amazing. I was kind of hesitant, thinking that this guy was going to look like a complete mess in person because of those proto figures that we saw, and then the photos. It worked out. It worked out in our favor, thank God. The display model that they had over at whatever convention looked like trash. Something was up about it. Something was funky. I get it. Those always look like trash. And then the prototype photos for the advertisement, they didn't look that great. But having this thing in person, it looks absolutely phenomenal. The sculpt is almost perfect. There are a few things I'm having a little bit of issue with. The weapons, they look really nice. This guy does look like a bit of a beefy Zaku, which is what I want. I want a beefy Zaku. I want a tough looking Gouf, because that is essentially what it is. A Gouf is just an upgraded Zaku, to me anyways, just with a few added weapons. I mean, there was never anything too special about it until this guy came out. So, I'm very happy from the get-go. You can already see that I put on his shield, his Gatling gun, he has his sword. We'll get into that in a moment. Let's go ahead and do some comparisons, because I want to get that out of the way. Let's show the old version of the Gouf, and then let's do some size comparisons next to the ground and a Zaku, and just see how it looks. Okay, we have the old Gouf here, we have the new Gouf here, and honestly, looking at them from the get-go, they do kind of look like one's bigger than the other. Namely, the newer one is a little bit bigger than the older one. But honestly, looking at it for at least a couple seconds straight, I want to say they're about the same height. Almost. I can't tell. I'm kind of looking at it at an angle. But these are relatively around the same size. It's kind of crazy. Not too much difference. Maybe if we... I don't know. Definitely seems like the shoulder armor is definitely the same size. I don't know. The chest is a lot more broad here, more narrowed in. We have a larger skirt armor section at lower torso right here. Again, more narrow. So this guy is just the beefy version, the stylized version that they came out with. And then you have your nice, slim, more accurate version on this side. It's no contest at all. This guy is the winner. So let's put him off to the side like so. Let's put him right there, and let's go ahead and throw a comparison of the ground Gundam. Let's get him out of the shot in general, and then put a Zaku F2 in there as well. Very nice size comparison here. Pretty much the same here. I like it a lot. This is definitely a win in my book for Bandai. All right, let's move to articulation, starting with the head and moving down. Of course, I'm going to point out that this commander antenna does come off very easily, so please keep in mind when you're posing this guy, take care of that antenna. It sucks to lose those things. Moving on to the head, you do get a full 360 rotation, and that is some nice rubbery cord around the mouth area, around the head area of the Gouf Custom. Moving on to the shoulders, you do get 360 rotation as well. Nice double bend in the elbow and a nice full rotation in the hand. Speaking of the elbow though, I just want to note out that you can move side to side very slightly. So that is a definitely a big advantage when you're posing this guy. You can move the arms up about that high before the shoulder armor pops off. Believe me, it's happened to me. It's not a big deal. Pops right back on. Moving on to the chest, he does have a butterfly joint. However, it's not very noticeable. It's very slight. In terms of my in my experience, you know, usually the butterfly joints allows the arms to almost touch, but yeah, you don't get much of one in this figure. So, but that's okay. Again, moving on to the torso, you do get a slight rotation as well, more so than you would get with any other Enemy suit. So I really like that a lot. More rubbery cord around the skirt armor. Skirt armor does move up very easily. I'm very surprised that this skirt armor doesn't get caught up on itself, which then allows you to kick out, and the legs do slide out further at the hip, so you can pop it out of place. Boom. Pop it back in, and then you get a double bend in the knees, like so. And then you get some toe articulation, and I'm not sure what this is called on top of the foot, what you would call that part, but that does move as well. Let's go ahead and put this guy back. Boop. There we go. Let's see, what else? What else can I note out? Of course, the mono-eye works. You have to pop off that dome and move it around by hand. I love that they're still implementing that. Moving on to the back. Thrusters move. Of course they would. Why wouldn't they? But one thing that I did find weird is that the backpack slides up and down. I can't remember if that was something from the anime. That's kind of weird. If you know, please comment down below. Share that info. He does have a hatch on the back of his skirt armor. Pops up. You can insert any other weapons from enemy suits. And that's advertised in the instruction manual. So yeah, a very nice, well-rounded figure from Bandai. Alright, we're now in accessory mode, and we don't get that much, but that's okay, I think. You know, we can always just take and steal from other figures. Starting with the effect parts, of course, we're going to get some of those newer version of the thruster effect parts. I'm not a very big fan of these. I think those connections are trash, but that's, you know, that's just my opinion. We do get some effect parts for the Gatling gun and the, what would you call the wrist gun? Did it have a special name? I can't remember. But yeah, you get some effect parts. Boom, they connect like so. And I'm sure you can use these with other figures. So not too bad. Very, very effective looking. And then we have some hands, of course. We have that nice hand rack. Now, aside from the closed fists, or closed melee holding hands, we have some nice open palms. And then we have two versions of trigger finger hands, some more loose and some more closed in. And then we have two more, or another set of display, or what would you call them? Somewhat closed articulation kind of posing hands. I don't know what you would call those, but all in all, you get 5 sets of hands. Not bad at all. Way better than the old version. I think we only had 3 total. Anyways, you of course get that cable that launches out of his wrist. This is very, very long. Yeah, it's nice and bendy and black, and of course you have that hook on the tip. I don't really see myself using this that much, so it's probably just going to go back in the box. And then finally we get to the main attraction of this figure, the Gatling gun. Now let me just pull out the shield. This does come in a few parts, but again, it's not as bad as the old version, believe me. This blade comes with like a gunmetal gray. It's kind of weird, but it's not too bad. I kind of wish we had a second blade, like a heated blade, but yeah, that is what we got. And then we have a shield that of course connects to the Gatling gun. The Gatling gun does not come apart. That is a good thing. In fact, maybe you could probably pull it apart, but it's not advertised that you could. The only thing that comes off is this hand wrist cannon, this hand mounted machine gun hand cannon thing. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, this pops onto the Gouf real easily. You may have seen the little peg insert that's already on the Gouf, excuse me. And yeah, he comes with 3 little ports on that gun. Nice painted lens. The Gatling barrel doesn't move, but that's okay. And then of course you can pull out the shield, like so, and then even pull off this portion and just have it be a plain old shield. But of course then you wouldn't be able to attach it to the Gouf. So yeah, nothing really too out of the ordinary, nothing revolutionary in terms of how this thing is put together. And that's good, because like last time, that's really what complicated the old figure and made it just complete trash. Okay, not to be like a total fanboy for this figure, I did want to show some of the negative things that I found with it. Namely, just the connection port for the grappling hook. It's just not the easiest to pop out. So of course you have this, well, what would you call it? Like a deactive version right here. And it's just this small little piece of plastic that you have to pull out with your fingernail. And then obviously then you can insert the wire. And I don't know, it's not that easy. Well, I guess it is. Yeah, there it is. So now you have the wire connected. Now, it's not that bad, but the fact that you have such a small piece, does make me a little worried that it could get lost very easily. In fact, I think the old one just had this whole portion come off, and then you replaced it with another part that had the wire already connected to it. I think that's how I remember it, but in any case, yeah, it just kind of seems like an easy way to lose something, and I'm just not a fan of that. And the only other thing I can see here is that the connection port for the hand-mounted machine gun, yeah, I kind of wish it wasn't there. I wish that it was just an open hole peg, or open hole for a peg to be inserted, but the peg is actually on the figure itself. And yeah, it does make it easy for the machine gun to be placed on the wrist of the Gouf, but yeah, I just kind of wish it just wasn't there. But still, all in all, a great figure. It is now time for my final thoughts, and before I do so, I want to make note. I did leave out one extra accessory from that portion of the review, and it is an extra commander antenna. I left it out. I simply forget about those because as soon as I open the box, I put a piece of tape over it, and yeah, I just play it safe with those things. So you do get an extra one. Anyways, final thoughts, and what can I say? This is a great figure. There's not much really I have to go over. You saw everything. There are some slight negatives, and really they're kind of superficial, but we'll go over them anyways. First, the positive. This figure is amazing compared to the old figure. Doesn't have all those ugly connection port holes. It doesn't fall apart, and it is generally overall a better styled, better color schemed version of the Gouf Custom. It is something we all wanted and that we all finally got. This is one of those figures where we can say Bandai delivered. Very much so. On top of that, it is easy to connect and put together the Gatling gun. Again, something we didn't have with the old figure. And on top of that, this guy can actually hold the Gatling gun up. Look at that. That arm is strong enough to hold that machine up. And then on top of this, you can put the effect parts on there, Not by itself, however. I did have this thing displayed with the effect parts on the barrel. It did fall over a couple times, but it did stay still for a while. I just took it off because I wanted to play safe, but you can have it displayed with the gun effect on there. I would just recommend maybe putting them on a display base, so having a more secure, you know, attachment to it. That being said, it is amazing that this guy is so stiff and not all loosey-goosey out of the box. The only other thing I can really mention is that I love the color scheme and I love the design of this figure. This is, of course, the Anime line, but it's just, overall, it looks better. It just, compared to that old figure, it is a million times better, and I'm very, very happy about this figure that it finally came out. Now, in terms of negatives, there aren't that many. I own the old MSIA Japanese version of the Gouf Custom, and it kind of matches this robot Damashii in terms of color scheme. It had some light gray or whitish gray panel lining on that figure. I kind of wish Damashii would do that with these things. You know, we're paying so much money, you could put a little bit more paint. I could see the issue there because quality control, but gosh, it really would make the difference for this figure. It just would look so much better. The only other thing I can say that's a negative is probably the fact that, well, that whole piece on the right hand, on the wrist for the connector cord or the grappling hook, man, that sucks. I really wish that was easier to keep an eye on. Yeah, it's just, it's a accident waiting to happen, and I bumped the camera, but that's okay. Anyways, this figure was great. I don't mind the price. $70 is what I paid. I got about 4 of them. I don't know why, and I highly recommend you get this figure before it's too late and it sells out. Anyways, thank you very much for watching the review. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. Do you like this figure? Do you hate it? Do you wish they did something more? Obviously, I wish they had more effect parts, and more battle damage parts would have been awesome, but what can you do? We always, you know, we always wish for more when we finally get something in. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. Bye.